Now, Mrs. Haberkamp, have lots of years living in the Pine Hills area. What's your favorite thing about living in the area?
The people. We have so many good customers. He said when he was much younger, he said one day, "Mother, I love coming to work every day because I love the customers." And we have wonderful customers.
And how about you, Mr. Haberkamp? What's one of your favorite things about having lived in the area?
Oh, same thing. You know, it's
said that
it's kind of reflective of what I do now. I enjoy the relationships we have with the customers, the people in the community. It's been part of my life. You know, I mean, I went to Evans. I was involved again back to Interact. So I dealt with the older people at Rotary, and now I'm still dealing with some of the same people. 35 years later, are still members at Rotary, and we still do stuff together.
They're kind of like relatives.
It's all those, you know, the people that you interact with. And when I talk to students today, I said, you know, you guys, that's the most important part of your lives is how to network with other people. You know, until I was involved with this, I wouldn't have met you all. So, you know, it's all part of doing things in the community. And that's what life's about. I mean, you know, I enjoy my grandkids the best, but the community comes second.
He moved 5 houses from his grandchildren. Moved away from me.
So
I don't blame him.
So what about Orlando or Florida as a whole? What do you like most about this area?
Well, it's easy to get around. You know, it's a lot of growth. I mean, it's helped our business over the years. You know, as much as Disney and all the SeaWorld and all those places have changed the living environment, they've also helped the economy. You know, it's all, you know, you go to some places where they've had, you know, factories and things have been closed down, the whole areas are depressed. We haven't really seen that since we moved here. Disney moved in. Until a couple of years ago, we've never really seen a recession in Florida or in our area. 2 or 3 years ago, 2008 was the first time Disney actually laid off some people, and you could see the effects come right down to my business because my customers are basically the workers that support all that. You know, they might not work at Disney, but they'll work at the hotels around Disney or the restaurants around Disney. And when they started laying people off, then it affected the economy in this area. And it's come back really well in the last couple of years, so we're real happy about it.
Well, since you've mentioned Disney, I've talked to some people about their remembrances of when Mr. Disney came to town and said, "We're moving to Florida." And some people at the time were delighted, and some people expressed nervous anticipation, and other people said, "Oh, we don't need that here." So what was your experience? What did you think about it?
We were excited.
You were excited about it.
What day did we go? 3 days after they opened when I took your boys?
Oh, yeah.
We were so excited. It was a $7.50 to get in.
Yeah, and you know, it just depends on I think as a younger person at the time, in 71, I was 15. No, I wasn't even that old. Yeah, I was 15. You know, I'm not really into the economics of it and all that. Obviously, the growth of Disney and all that property out there has raised the property values in Orange County, a lot of growth and economic stimulation to the community where years ago it would have been just left up to agriculture. And if we'd had a freeze like we did in the 80s, this whole area would have been just devastated for years and years and years. So it's been good. I think it depended on who you were. You know, if you wanted to live in a rural area, you liked the agricultural stuff, you hated to see that increase in traffic and all that. But ultimately, growth is good for the economy. Just depends what you want. If you know, it's kind of like you want to retire, you want to move someplace quiet, you know. But when you're trying to make an income, you want to be someplace that can provide a good income for you and your family.
Well, it sounds like overall that your choice to move to Central Florida and the Orlando and Pine Hills area has been a positive experience, not just for yourself, but for your son and for grandchildren and a couple of generations of the family.
We met. I said, I'm so blessed in my life to know so many people that are so good to us. And when Bettina, they write that little book every month, old people come in there and say, "Is Tim's picture in there this time?" And I'll say, if it's not, I said, Bettina, you got to put his picture because they'll take it if his picture's in. That's how much they love him. One used to stand on the broiler and put the meat on, and one put the buns on. on their toes. And we had the
Yeah.
glass, it was just a little building, and the customers just loved them.
So they got to watch your kids work and earn their keep,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
But
yeah.
these kids did everything adults did, because we had to have it, we didn't have the money. We didn't take in even $100 a day, it was bad.
Yeah,
We
things
thought, what
have
are we
changed.
doing? We must be crazy to be here.
That's right. So it sounds like Burger Chef / Hardee's has been good to you and your family.
Yeah.
Yes, it has.
Now Sunday, we're gonna have a lot of those people over. Someone that worked for us said, a couple that met there, he was first in the class at Evans, she was second. And they went back and forth and smiled, and they got married and have 4 wonderful children now. And they wanted to get together and see this one girl, and she comes from Murfreesboro, lady. Then the others want to see her, so we're gonna have the party at my house where we have those old timers.
And so the couple met at your
Oh, yeah, they were
restaurant?
working, they started
Yeah.
dating. We had quite a few of those.
Yeah, and,
Started dating while they were working for us and got married, yeah.
but we had all good kids then, nobody stole or anything. We put all our purses on a table.
Yeah,
It was a
there's,
wonderful world, it was.
So you were influential in bringing families, what turned out to be families together.
absolutely. Yep,
Now we've
absolutely.
got lots of friends. I'll be anxious to see them, some of them,
Yeah.
because they get older like we are. It'll be fun to be with them.
Yep. And it's kind of neat because, you know, we struggle in the community today talking about the futures of the kids at Evans and stuff. And at some point, I'm going to try and get a lot of these people that I know that are past students that have done what they've done in their careers in the future and stuff. And it's amazing to see the potential that people have coming out of high school and when they apply themselves and how well they've done, you know, and it's all depends on what the decision they make when they get out of high school. And I mean, the education is the most important part to make that decision, but once they get out, whatever path they take, it depends on where they're going to end up 20, 30 years down the line.
Well, speaking of Evans, what do you think of that new Evans High School that opened a couple years back?
It's nicer than my home, so I'd like to live there, so.
Beautiful.
But it's gorgeous. It's a real asset to the community. It'll help us, especially with the neighborhood improvement district. It should be a real good breaking point for us to start building around it. We've had a couple other properties that are being redeveloped around it, so it's helping the community overall. And obviously, it's a great place for the students to go, and if anybody hasn't gone to see it, they ought to go there. It's a gorgeous school.
Oh, yeah.
Now, out by your Burger Chef, I've talked to some other people over the last couple of days that remember other restaurants. Do you remember a place called the Golden Pagoda?
Oh,
yeah.
yes, uh-huh. That was in the Pine Hill Shopping Center.
Right there at the, kind of like where the alleyway runs in between the center there. It was right to the west side of that, so.
We had Red Lobster.
Red Lobster.
That was
Yeah, it
over
used to
there.
be across the street
Yeah.
where the AutoZone is
And
now.
we didn't have many restaurants, but on Friday night, we were busy all the time those years.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, we were,
Friday night, the walls could have come out. We had people all over the
Probably
place.
lots of Evans kids, too.
well,
Those
yeah.
were- those
Well,
were
that's
good
all.
days.
No, there was nothing else out here. It was
Right.
all development. When we opened the restaurant, the intersection of Pine Hills and Silver Star Road had one light hanging in the middle with no turn lanes. 2 lanes, you know, one
Did
each
you
way.
see all those pictures?
So, I mean, it
Oh.
was, you know, Pine Hills Road was 2 lanes,
It was
Silver
all-
Star Road was 2 lanes, there was hardly,
And probably a
All
bunch of
woods.
orange groves, too. Huh?
yeah, well, not right in the intersection, but anything out. I mean, when I was in high school, actually, when I turned 18, Hiawassee Road from Silver Star north to Claricone, Ocoee was still orange groves and clay, wasn't even a paved road.
It's really
So,
changed.
So, yeah,
The
it's
traffic
changed a
has
lot.
changed too.
Yeah, we remember, you know, people used to come in from Ocoee and it was like, oh, you drove all the way in from Ocoee, you know? And now it's just nothing but constant businesses and homes and stuff between here and there. But Ocoee was like another world, you know?
It
so.
was.
And what about downtown? I guess that probably was really another world, right?
It was very nice. Big department stores there, lovely.
Yeah, yeah, that's there wasn't really any malls. You had Colonial Mall, which is where the Colonial Town Square is now. That was there, but
Pennies and Ivy's, and I'm trying to think what else there was.
Sears,
all downtown.
all was downtown.
Downtown.
Yeah, it was, you know, if you want to go to a
was nice.
department store, you just drive downtown and go shopping. But that all moved out, you know, they all got the malls at Altamont and Fashion Square and all that, so. But yeah, it's changed tremendously. I mean, I can remember when they were going to put Disney, and again, I'm a young kid coming here when they announced Disney at 5:35 at the intersection on I-4, I mean, you get off and it's a 2-lane road, and you go down where all the hotels are now. I don't know what the name of the street is, but it's, you know, whatever, downtown Disney and all is on that main street. And there's the building still there. And it was just a square little building. You pull in there and park, and it had the whole model of Disney around the whole outside or the inside, and you just get in the line and you walk around the 4 squares of the building and come out the other side. And that was the extent of the exhibition for Disney at the time, and that was pretty cool. We all thought, oh, this is great, you know.
I guess just beyond that was just nothing but
Oh yeah, there was
woods,
nothing
right?
out, yeah, there was nothing out there. So, yeah, for years and years, this area's grown just astronomically over the years.
And would you still recommend Central Florida and Orlando as a good place for people to move and raise their family?
Oh yeah, yeah. There's some real nice areas in Central Florida, and it's going to continue to grow. I mean, you know, if you want to live in a rural area, it's probably not the place to move into. But if you want to live in a metropolitan area with a lot of opportunities and a lot of growth, I mean, there's, you know, again, being involved in so much stuff, there's UCF's doing so much on the other side of town. They're developing all that stuff down at Lake Nona. I mean, all this stuff's high tech, you know, trying to get more high-end businesses away from more of the service industry and some high-end jobs. And these are all opportunities for people to live here. But there's, you know, the recreational opportunities and stuff here to live.
We have everything.
Just lakes, weather's nice. Well, obviously, it's the 10th of January and it's 81 degrees outside.
So I'm guessing neither one of you regret your move to Florida.
No. When we got here that January, we went to Ocoee and kids went swimming.
Yeah, that was.
And people were in their shorts getting their Christmas trees, and we couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
And we got a Christmas tree, we put it up, and it didn't last but a couple of days. The needles fell off, you know. And we're used to having them up north, you know.
Yeah,
it's completely different. After that, we had artificial trees.
Yeah, that was because we moved from a snow area. First New Year's Day, it was 81 degrees out, and so we went out to Stark Lake in Ocoee and went swimming. So the water was a little chilly, but hey, it was sunshine, and they were shoveling snow where we used to live, so it was great. So.
Well, thank you very much for your time and for sharing your memories with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For
We enjoyed it.
us.
Thank you.